You know, I didn't want to make this video, but I felt the need to do so today. And the reason is because many people are going to fail really to get into tech. And I want to make this video so that you aren't one of these people that are going to fail to get into tech.
Nice.
Listen, guys, I've been in the tech industry for 18 years, started my career off as a software engineer. So I've lived this life for the last 18 years. And I recognize that the tech space has blown up because of content creators that have gotten into tech and really want to provide that level of exposure to individuals who have an interest into tech. Providing exposure is great, and it is greatly appreciated for these content creators to do such a thing. But the benefits of tech have been around for a very long time. I'm talking about, I started my career in the tech space in 2005. So back then, we were still getting insane salaries.
Damn!
We were still getting the best health benefits. We were still getting really good life insurance, 401k matches, and all of that were still provided to us back then. But now with the proliferation of content that's out there, and it's specifically being generated towards the tech industry, now many people are seeing the advantages of being into tech. And many people want to work into tech for the right reasons, and some people want to get into tech just for the money. And I will tell you like this, if you're looking at it from getting in for just the money, you will not succeed. Okay, the tech industry has provided me with flexibility, the ability to work remote. I've been remote for over 12 years in my life. And I can tell you this, the tech industry has been amazing to me and amazing to the people that I've coached and the people that I've mentored as well throughout my career. And with 18 years of being in this space, I've seen people come and go. I've seen people try and fail. Yes, I've seen many people try and fail. And here are the specific reasons why many of you are going to fail. And the first reason why many will fail is because there is intense competition in the tech space. Even back in 2005, when I was breaking into the tech space, graduating college and getting my first engineering job in January 2006, there was intense competition. I'm talking about I had to fill out over 300 job applications in order for me to become a software engineer. And I only got 2 interviews out of those 300 job applications that I filled out. Listen, I'm one of those people that like to use sports analogies, and I sometimes equate the tech industry to that of becoming an NFL player, MLB player, NBA player. The competition is fierce, and there are not very many people that will make it to these areas or in these areas, but there are a lot of people that want to be in it, but not a lot of people will become a professional ball player. And I will tell you like this, there are not a lot of people that will break into tech, and it's because there are a limited number of jobs available, and there are more people who want those jobs than there are jobs available. And this means that it is important for you to stand out from the crowd if you want to be successful in breaking into tech. Now, what does standing out look like if you were to try to break into tech? Well, I will give you an example. Let's just say you want to break into tech and become a sales development rep or a business development rep. How would you stand out from the crowd or from the competition that want to become a sales development rep? One, instead of just filling out applications, you would go above and beyond and fill out those applications, but also try to book meetings with the individuals who are responsible for making the hiring decision and making it easier for them. So book a calendar invite on their calendar after you do the research and find out what their email addresses are. Put a calendar invite on there and say something along the lines of potential SDR, sales development rep hiring process, or sales development rep candidate, or something along those lines, right? And you can also do something that will set you apart in creating a Loom video of you just talking about your past experiences and sharing your resume and talking them through it. These are ways that you can stand out from the competition so that you would get some awareness and somebody would look at the video and find a little bit more about you and how interesting you are. And that will set you above and beyond from the other individuals who are just filling out applications and thinking that the whole world is going to look at their application because they are somehow special. No, in the tech industry, the competition is fierce and you can fill out 300 applications. And guess what? You may just get 2 phone calls like I did when I broke in as a software engineer. But guess what, guys? You don't give up. Don't give up because of those people who I filled out the 300 applications for. Guess what? There are hundreds of thousands and potentially millions of other companies that I could be applying for or could have been applying for. And it's the same exact thing for you all as well. Now let's move on to the second reason why people are going to fail to break into tech. And the second reason is because you're just not good enough. You're just not good enough. Not everyone is cut out for a career in tech. You know, I would say this, there takes a certain level of skill and knowledge to be successful in the tech space. And if you're not willing to put in the work to learn the necessary skills, then you're unlikely to make it. I recall when I was just graduated and became a software engineer. In school, I took my homework assignments and went back to the room and coded. And I coded and I recoded and I recoded and I worked and I worked and I worked and I worked and I worked. And I got other assignments and I worked and I worked and worked. And I tried to become the best software engineer that I could be, right? I put in the work and ultimately it allowed for me to become a software engineer. Now, there are many of you who want to break into tech and become an engineer or program manager or product manager or a developer or a sales rep, but you're not willing to put in the work, so you're not good enough. And if you're not willing to put in the work, the tech space will not give you any help at all, and you won't be able to break in. So again, guys, the second reason why many will fail to break into tech is because they're not good enough and they're not willing to put in the work. And the third reason why people are going to fail to break into tech is just because the industry is very difficult to break into in today's market. Just what it is. Back in 2005, when I graduated college, guess what? It was a very difficult market as well. So you have to do the things to set yourself apart, right? You have to do the things that set yourself apart, show your skills so that you can get the opportunities. I was able to get those opportunities. Many of my classmates were not able to get those opportunities. And it is a very competitive market like it is today. There are high barriers of entry, but it can be done. It is possible. I have individuals who are breaking in just about every single day that I coach and I mentor in the Black Heights community. And these are people all across the world, from in India, the United States, the Philippines, Singapore, and so forth. All these individuals are still breaking into tech because they are following the process that we are sharing with them in order for them to stand out and break into it. But at the end of the day, it is a very competitive market and you have to be skilled and you have to stand out in order for you to break into this industry, especially in the market that we are in today. And the fourth reason why people will fail to break into tech is because they choose not to invest in themselves. I'm just going to put it like this. They choose not to invest in themselves. If you are serious about getting into tech, you need to be willing to invest in yourself. And this means taking the time to learn the necessary skills, building your portfolio, networking with people in the industry. It also means being willing to spend money on resources that can help you succeed. Whether that's booking a coaching call with the Black Heights community, www.blkheights.com, or that is going to a boot camp in course careers or level careers to break into the industry, you have to be willing to spend money on the resources. And many people choose to try to break in using free resources. Guess what? The majority of the free resources out there are going to give you that information, but it's going to be time consuming getting access to the right people. It's going to take a lot longer. When you pay for resources, you're going to get the attention that you want and attention that you need from the individuals who can literally help you break into tech and can shortcut it. So you have to be willing to spend the money on yourself, investing in yourself in order for you to break into tech. And a lot of people choose to do it another way, and they want to do it free and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to do this for free because I don't have the money. You have the money. You do have the money. We know you have the money. You have money to spend on other things, but you choose not to spend it on what is important for you in your future. So guys, they're going to fail because they're choosing not to invest in themselves. And when they don't invest in themselves, it's showing that they're not serious about getting into tech, and they're not willing to put the money aside to invest into their future. You know, at the end of the day, breaking into tech requires you to invest in yourself. It requires you to believe in yourself. It requires you to know how to start. How to start small and focus on one thing at a time. Don't be scatterbrained if you are wanting to become a web developer and choose 7 different programming languages and try to learn them at the same time. No, try to learn just one, become very familiar with that language, and then build the foundation off that language, and then pivot on other languages. If you're looking to break into sales, focus on learning the sales process first, and then move on to the other methodologies that exist out there in the sales world. Start small and then grow, and don't overburden yourself with so much information. You know, a lot of people are just scared. A lot of people are just scared of failure. That's what it is. So I encourage you to take the leap of faith and try to make it into tech. Because here's the thing, at the end of the day, in tech, you're going to be rejected by companies all the time. Again, I use the example of myself, filled out 300 applications, only got 2 interviews and landed 2 roles or whatever it is, right? That's 298 rejections that I got. You're going to get more rejections than you're going to get opportunities, but you have to keep going. And don't take those rejections as failure. Take them as a way for you to learn. And guess what? There are millions of other companies that you can be applying to that will give you an opportunity if you get in front of the right person. So don't be afraid of failure. And I wanted to hit on this one as well too, because many people choose not to break into tech or try to get into tech because they don't have a degree. Okay? I know a lot of people who are in tech today that don't have a degree. Matter of fact, when I became a software engineer, I had a gentleman by the name of Ken who was self-taught back in 2006. He was a better programmer than I was. And he was self-taught. And I was like, wow, I spent 4 years going to school to get a management information systems degree with a computer science minor. And he didn't even go to school. And he was a better coder than I was. So in today's world, that's, 15 years later, more than 15 years later, you don't need a degree in order for you to break into tech. There are many resources that exist out there, from alternative education like course careers, level careers, all these boot camps that exist out there that will provide you the time to develop the skills that you need in order for you to break in. So you don't necessarily need to have a degree in order for you to break into tech. That's the world that we live in today. So if you are thinking that you need to have a degree to break into tech, that's the furthest from the truth. And another thing that people use to not break into tech is the fact that English isn't their first language. They don't think they're good in English. And I will tell you like this, guys, there are many successful tech workers that exist out there or that are in the tech space where English is not their native language. I have clients from India, again, the Philippines, Malaysia, Singapore, and English isn't their first language, but they're still in the tech space, right? It's no different than learning another language. You have to put in the time and effort, invest in yourself in order for you to break in. And that's the exact same thing. And you don't have to be great at English. You have to be able to communicate with some folks depending on the company that you work in and what language they use around the world. But you don't necessarily have to be great in English in order for you to break into tech. And I think that's a misconceived notion that's out there, that you have to be good at English in order for you to break into tech. Now, I got to say this, you got to be a good communicator. If English is not your native language, then get better at that as you are getting better in the tech space as well. And you will see your odds of breaking into tech improve. Look, guys, I'm encouraging you guys to break into tech. It can provide you the salaries that you ultimately want to make to take care of yourself and your family. It can provide you the healthcare benefits to take care of yourself and your family just in case something comes up. Your kid is born with some illness or something along those lines. You get sick, you have the appropriate healthcare. It can provide you the 401k match that can help you to retire early if you invest the correct way. There are many benefits of being into tech. It's provided me a great life over the last 18 years. And I can tell you like this, I wouldn't trade it for the world. But in order for you to break into tech and be successful at it, you have to invest in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to start small. You can't be afraid of failure because failure is going to happen the majority of the time. And last but not least, you got to keep going. Do not give up. Do not give up. Do not give up.
I'm not giving up.
Okay, guys, if you like this sort of video, go ahead and hit the like button on the video. Also, if you like this content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button on this channel and hit that notification bell because we drop videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. By the way, my name is Antoine Wade and I run the Black Heights channel, and I will see you guys on the next one. I want to see you guys in the tech, and I want many of you guys to come onto this platform to share your success stories and leave your success stories in the comments of this video as well too, guys. And until next time, peace.